All right, folks. How's everybody doing out there? Oh my gosh. John Henry Soto here. Thank you for watching. I got to say something really just from the bottom of my heart. I've been getting some of the most amazing private messages from people about what I'm doing and some of the things that I've been working on. And it's been so amazing to hear that a little bit of what I'm doing inspired them to do something. And now they're asking me to help them on stuff, and I'm jumping in. And of course, I'm there. And it's been incredibly inspiring for me. So I just want to thank you all out there because I really appreciate it. A couple announcements that I'm going to make right off the bat. So I have a Facebook page that I started, the JHS show. I didn't do one for the JHS interviews show. I don't know why I didn't do that, but I didn't. And so I have about 230 something people on there now. So if you're interested, I'm going to be going live there, not just through the show, but I'll be doing other content, a lot of other information, especially as we get closer to the shows. I'm going to be putting up more information on that. So that's going to be, so if you like that, it's on Facebook, JHS Show. Please join the page. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Next thing is that I had a little issue with my camera, which was really freaking annoying because I spend a lot of time and cash on trying to get it. But my little camera here for some reason gave me a little bit of an issue the last show. It crapped out on me, even though I had my voice. It just went black. So I apologize. I hope that doesn't happen again. But I'm just letting everyone know that that was something that happened, and I'm going to look into it. I'm going to probably get a new camera, but I haven't been able to do that yet. That just happened a couple of days ago. And that's it. So, all right. So let's get started here. One of the reasons I wanted to do this episode was because I've had health issues in my life, not anything dramatically scary, but enough that was scary for my family, for me, um, and with diabetes was really just running rampant in my family. Like, I mean, everyone had diabetes in my family. My grandparents, my mom, unfortunately passed from complications from diabetes. Aunts and uncles. I mean, everyone. It was just a really scary thing. And I grew up just knowing that that was kind of like the way things were. It wasn't. Uh, it's just, it wasn't like there was a prevention. It was like, well, this was just what your future holds. Get ready, folks. And so what ended up happening was that about 10 years ago, I was diagnosed pre-diabetic. So that freaked me out, of course. And I asked the doctor, and the doctor was like, well, you can change your diet, because I asked him, can I change my diet and handle this? And he was like, well, you can, but because it runs in your family, it might just not be something that you can do. And he really discouraged me into the health. And I thought, yeah, I don't really listen to people, first of all. But anyway, I just thought to myself, well, that's not okay, because what if I just was not the way I was going to be? And what if I just decided, well, I guess the doctor said I can't really handle it. So this is my life. I'm going to have to start taking medications. I'm going to have to start doing all this other crap. And, but I didn't. I went home and I did change my diet drastically. And I did some. I read some stuff. I researched some stuff, and I was able to, like, next time go back, didn't have it at all. Of course, they said, well, then it must have been that there was just an error, and that you didn't have it. I guess it was, maybe you ate a heavy breakfast. And I was like, dude, I was like, you told me there was no chance that I was not going to get this, and now you can't find it, and now you're telling me that it probably was a fluke. So anyway, the medical industry really disappointed me in that particular case. And not to knock all of them, because I have friends that are doctors, and I respect a lot of them. But overall, I just think that the nutrition aspect of the medical industry is just not really where it should be, and it's frightening, and people are dying for him. So I'm gonna bring in my very good friend David Guzzone, who's actually my health coach, and he actually got me to where I am right now. I'm not where I want to be. I'm not where I want to be. Like, I got a phone call from Playgirl magazine, and I said, you know what? Give me another month. Give me another month, and I'll be on the cover. But right now, I still got this little thing here. But I feel fantastic, and it's because of this program that I've been on for about a month and a half, maybe a little bit longer than that. And I've been blessed. Let me see. I got some people here. Insert. Okay, that's just a spam. Thank you very much, spammer. So let's bring up David. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, David Guzzone.
Hello, 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 hello.
David,
How
thank
you
you so much. I
doing,
saw you
John?
pop in, and we didn't get a chance to chat beforehand, so I appreciate you coming in. I know you don't have a lot of time tonight, but um, first of all, I want to thank you because you came on the show originally the first time, and it really, as you were talking, it was funny, and as you were talking, I'm listening, and I'm thinking to myself, why don't I just do something different? Why don't I take responsibility in a different way? Like I normally would take responsibility by saying, okay, I'm not going to eat that anymore, or I'm going to go to the gym a little bit more times, and that doesn't stick to the point that you're going to have a life change. But this program literally um, gave me so much discipline, and it did one thing that I did not expect it to do. It made me be able to know my body better, which was like so freaking amazing. Like I got up and I was realizing that I understood certain things about myself. I understood like when why I was feeling drained, and when I would add more water to my diet, um, why I had just got up and you don't realize you have more energy. I was going to tell you that also. I think I might have mentioned it during one of our calls where I said I didn't realize I had a lot of energy. I just realized, oh wait, I'm not tired. That was my realization. It wasn't like, oh, I have all this energy. I just realized I'm not tired. So, but this is a wonderful program, and I want to thank you for that. Um, what kind of information? What should I be saying to someone? Because this is such a hard thing to talk to people about. For me
Yeah,
personally, and
yeah,
and just nutrition in general, especially somebody that could really use it. You know, I do it because I care about people in
sure.
general, right? So this is part of the reason why I do it. But what is it? What do you recommend for somebody like me who's been on the program, or maybe somebody out there who just is really into health and fitness and doesn't need the program but wants to kind of help other people? What do you think they can actually do? What can they say?
It's a great question, and I'm going to answer it. But first, let me commend you on the work that you did. Because you have a program, there's a protocol to follow, and it's simple to follow, yet you still have to do the work.
It's hard. I
You
mean,
know,
it's simple to follow. You're right. It
it's
is
simple to
simple to follow.
follow, but you
It
still
is.
have to do the work. And
Right.
it is a science. It's not a theory. It's broken into. It's the science of how the body works and what happens when you fuel your body properly, the right way, eating throughout the day, not starving yourself, being well hydrated, having balanced nutrition in. It works all the time. However, there's plenty of people. I've coached a lot of people, and most are successful. But there's always those people that just can't get out of their own way. So you should give yourself a little round of applause for what you accomplished. Uh, and what I would say to people, and how to talk about this, and what's different about what we do is that people think they're getting on a diet,
Yeah, I
and
hated that. That's one thing that I
yeah,
did not want to do.
and there's so many diets out there. I mean, it's crazy. And the truth is, anybody can lose weight on a diet.
Right.
But that is not handling anything because people don't like diets. And when you get to the end of it and you've been depriving yourself of X, Y, and Z, it may not even have been a very healthy diet. I mean, there's plenty of ways to lose weight that aren't necessarily healthy. And
Right.
so what happens is, in the second they stop the diet, they just go back to their old habits and they just go back in the other direction. So you said some interesting things. You learn some things about yourself, right? You
Mhm.
learned about your body and about how it works. So this is a reorientation into what food actually is, and to create healthy habits as you go. So you're actually just changing how you're eating is what you're doing. You're not on a
Right.
diet. It's not restrictive in that you can't ever have sugar again. That's not realistic. You can't have a piece of bread again. That's not realistic. That's no way to create a lifestyle that's sustainable. So the
Right.
focus is on creating optimal health long term,
Right.
and learning how to optimize your health through different phases of your life, because there is no everything the same, as we know, especially from, from
Right.
the last year has taught us. So, if someone say to you, what is this? Say it's a health and wellness program designed to give you the skill sets and the mindset to optimize your health long term. And that
Yeah.
doesn't sound like a diet, and it's
No, it
not.
doesn't. And
It really doesn't,
optimizing
and
my
that's the goal.
yeah, and it really optimizing it almost sounds like voodoo. But when I remember a couple of mornings waking up, and and the first week it was not easy. I'm not gonna sit around. I did a thing last year where I stopped sugar for for 90 days, and the first 2 weeks, was and I don't at that time I was eating a lot of sugar, but I'm not crazy about the sugars either. But um the idea that you can jump on a diet and handle and get optimum health. See, that's the thing about diets. They're only focused on one thing. They're focusing on you losing weight. They're not
Right.
focusing on how your body can operate at the most optimum level possible for the remain, for all the time that you have. And
Yeah.
those diets don't really work. And that's why in this country we have more diets than anywhere else on earth. But yeah, we
Hmm.
have tremendous amount of obesity. We have a tremendous amount of diabetes. When you're dealing with your clients, somebody who comes in and and is set on their ways. Like I'm set on my ways on coffee. If you said you can't have coffee for a month, I'd be like, Dave, listen, I'll call you in a couple months. Maybe you could be on the show, but that is all. You know what I mean? But there
Yeah.
was no way I was not gonna have coffee.
Yeah.
Other than
Well,
that, it's
you know,
hard. You get they like you said, they get in their own way.
well, a person's got to be ready to change, and oftentimes people will come to me because even after they've tried everything and failed, but they still want that change. And the great thing about, listen, we're all creatures who want instant gratification. And it's really the greatest thing about this program is that you get results instantly right out of the gate. So
It
maybe
is,
you
yeah,
had a rough first week. You didn't feel so great first week, but
right,
I have more than half the clients I work with after like 2 days, they're like, I feel freaking great. This is the easiest thing
wow,
in the world. So it really doesn't, it's very different, for every
yeah,
person, but in the end, everyone's going to feel really good on it. But when a person's ready to change, they change. And if they can't get out of the wrong way, there's only so much I can do,
right.
about that. But, we, interesting thing, the word diet, I think is
It's
interesting. And the way
horrible,
that you use it, how you say, oh, it's horrible. Going on a diet is horrible. But a
it,
diet is what
right,
a person eats.
right,
So
exactly.
you look at it differently this way. This
That's right,
program is about getting control over your diet, not going on a diet. There's
right,
different. Okay.
right,
A
yeah,
diet, a daily diet. I'm on, if you want to be technical, the way I eat, I am on a daily diet. I'm on a healthy daily diet. If you go to fast food restaurants 6 times a week, that's your diet.
right,
A diet is how we feed ourselves.
right,
Okay, going on a diet has this connotation of, oh, I can't have this and I can't have that. I'm going to deprive myself. No.
right,
So this program is about learning about what a daily diet should be and tooling it to your lifestyle and educating yourself, and just so you can move forward. You know,
right,
I eat a lot of food. I eat when I'm exercising, and now I exercise a lot. I love it. It's just what I like to do. I have to eat a lot of food
right, right,
to feel good. I used to exercise, starve myself, lose weight, and then the second I got to my goal weight, I go, I'm freaking hungry, and too tired to work out anymore. So I would just
right,
start,
right,
But now this is where the optimization comes in for me. So somebody who doesn't work out as much as I do, they don't need to eat as much as I do, right?
right, right,
If I break, God forbid, I break both my legs tomorrow, okay, and I'm not exercising for a while, I know how to optimize my diet to where it needs to be so I can maintain a healthy body weight without exercising and not worry about getting fat again.
right,
So that's where, when we say optimization, because, things are constantly changing. Everything is in flux. So if you don't learn anything except how to not eat pizza for 6 weeks, okay, you're going to lose weight. But big deal. You're going to be eating pizza again sometime in your future. So
Right, right, because you're depriving yourself, and so this program. I don't even like to call it a program. I mean, a diet. I like to call it a program. Is that
okay, sure, call it a program. Yeah.
yeah? So when I got on this, you know, first of all, I love the food. I love the food. There was really nothing of the food that I did not like. You know what I mean? There was really very little. I don't think there was one thing that I just didn't like. You know what I mean? Everything I liked. You know what I mean? So that was a good thing, because that was also another frightening thing for me,
Yeah.
to do a program like this where
Sure.
someone else is giving me the food. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just like, I got food. Just
Sure.
tell me you know what I mean? But that was actually really great. I love the bars, because the bars for me are God sent, because and not now because of the whole COVID thing, but my lifestyle is always, I would leave early in the morning and I get back
Hmm.
at night. And when it's 40 things you're trying to get done in one day, you don't have time. So what do? There's a pizza place. You
Yeah.
get a quick slice, get a
Yeah.
drink, boom, boom, boom. Catch a burger. I never go to fast foods. The most
Sure.
fast food I get is pizza. But still, you make these bad choices.
Yeah.
And you talked a lot about choices.
Hmm.
When we first started, you kept saying that to me, and I didn't understand why. Well, it's a choice you make. Well, it's a choice. You made a choice. I think one day I had like four crackers or something, and I was like, I had like four crackers.
Well, yeah,
You
I
know,
cheated. I had
I had four crackers.
cheated. What? You had some crackers. You chose to
Yeah,
have some crackers. Big
you
deal.
made it,
But
but
if I may,
yeah.
just because you mentioned bars and people have to, the last time we spoke about the whole program, so just give me just a little quick
Oh, I
recap.
want to, yeah, and before that, I
Yeah.
want to give you also. I also want you to go into, if you have time. I know you got to go, but if you have time,
No, I
talk a
have
little
time.
bit about the actual program itself,
Yeah.
John Hopkins, and that part
Sure.
afterwards. Yeah, or you can just
Okay.
all of it together.
Well, okay. Yeah, I'll tie that up at the end. That won't take me long. So, do you mind if I interview you for a second?
Sure, go ahead.
So, uh, you know, we measure the success through the first 30 days of the program through two metrics, and one is the scale victories, and then the non-scale victories. So what was your what was your scale victory? How much weight did you lose
Um, um, overall, I lost 21,
in about how much time?
7 weeks, seven
Pretty good.
weeks. Yeah, I mean, that to me was, and again, I've never had to. You know what I mean? I've never
Mhm.
had to do that. It was because I was home and I really wasn't going out and doing the exercise and
Sure.
stuff. But I'm actually glad that it happened to me, because it gave me a knowledge that I wouldn't have had.
Sure. And it's great. And I had similar results. I lost 26 pounds in 6 weeks
Nice.
when I did my program. So everybody's a little bit different, but it happens. So that's great and that's wonderful. But what's more important is the non-scale victories.
Yeah.
So I know one thing you mentioned. Oh wow, I actually have a lot of energy now that I'm not tired. So okay, so your sleep was improving. You're having more
Mm.
energy. What are some of the other things that you
And
experienced?
I was gonna mention this early, mental clarity.
Mm.
Like, something happened to me in the middle of whatever I was doing with the show, that I realized I was moving. And again, this is a very subtle thing, and you have to be really in tuned with things. And not that I'm Mr. In Tune guy, but you have to kind of like know that you have a lot of things to do. I got my little lists and stuff, and so I know I'm checking off things on the day, especially if I'm booking guests for the shows. And one of the things that was hard was all of it. It was like, oh, I'm trying to remember, what is this, but I was going through my list without really looking at the list.
Mm.
So I'll have maybe, like, I had 15 things on my battle plan for the last. This was from yesterday, right? And I don't really look at it. Like, because for some reason, like, I know what's on it now, and so then I'll go do all the things, and then I'll come in and I'm over here checking off things. And I was like, okay, I called her, I called him. Okay, I did that. I booked that. I did that. And by the end of it, I'm like, oh wow, I only have 3 things left. That means I remembered. So my mind clarity is just much more in tune with what I'm actually working on. And that was new. That was
Yeah.
completely new. I've always needed lists, because I get too flustered and there's too much stuff going on. I get a little crazy and stuff. I mean, there's other things that I do obviously in my through my religion and through my other stuff that helped as well. But
Sure.
this part of it was completely new on it, and I know that it came because I didn't have certain toxins blocking stuff. I
Yeah.
felt, you know,
Yeah.
and water.
Yeah.
Water is like huge. Like it's unbelievable. Like I was thinking you told me how much you drink and I was like, damn, that's like it's like half my body weight. I was thinking that's a lot of water, But then as you start drinking throughout the day, you realize it's not really that much. And by the end of it, I was drinking a little bit more than that, actually a lot more than that. And it was just like it was part of the thing, and very, very fascinating. But yeah, that was one of the things.
It really is. I mean, daily hydration is the most basic thing you can do for your health, and it is the most overlooked thing in the world. I
Completely.
talk to some people who, they're in bad shape. They're just, I mean, there's so many issues wrong that I know that they would have so much relief from if they would just drink more water.
That's it.
And the program's not for them, or they don't want to do it. And I say, listen, but I'm begging you. I'm like, never do my program. Don't go on a diet. Don't lose a pound. I don't care. But if you don't start drinking water on a consistent basis, you are never going to get relief from what you're experiencing. I don't care how many medications you take. Nothing is going to, if you would just drink some water
Yeah.
on a daily basis, not just have, one day be well hydrated.
Right.
Your body flushes out. Our body is mostly made out of water. So if you're not putting clean water in daily, you got problems.
Yeah.
You've got aches and pains. You've got inflammation. You have fogginess. You have so many things you have headaches. You have so many things you have bad skin.
Mm-hmm.
So many things are handled with just being properly hydrated.
Yeah.
And the other thing that goes into that, and I'll get into, that healthy body, healthy mind, it's not just an idea, it's actually a physiological reality. Now, I'm not talking, because there's your mind, but there's also an organ called a brain that is, it's an organ.
Right.
And that needs to be cleaned out also to work properly. And so water flushes your brain out also. Okay. Right. I'm not saying this program is going to make you smarter, but it's definitely going to, open up the possibilities to more things, because you're going to be able to think more clearly because of it. So we do 4 things, for our clients. And the reason we do these 4 things is so we're not just focusing on the nutritional aspect, because there are going to be days where you just don't want to do it. That just happens. Life happens, and you're not going to be able to, follow, according to plan. So there have to be other things that you're working on to create a healthy lifestyle. So, as your coach, I'm your accountability partner. I'm your guide. I'm your cheerleader. And that's my job. And what I'm guiding you through is a very robust habits of health system. That's, it's 40 years of evidence-based science and clinical studies and research on weight management, portion control, but also better sleep, better energy management, stress reduction, healthy surroundings, healthy mindset, all practical tools, nothing psychological, just all practical tools. So you will identify, with my help, what habits you need to work on long term. And then I'm going to give you the tools to show you little by little how to implement those habits so they become second nature. Right. And so they just become part of who you are. And then so living a healthier life is like, oh, it's not too difficult. How do you eat an elephant? Bite. Right. You don't eat all at once. So you don't go from unhealthy to being 100% healthy in a month or even a week. No, it takes some time. So there's things to do, little manageable bites as we go, so it just becomes easier and easier. There's also a whole community of support and that's not for everybody, but for some clients, that's the thing that gets them through the day, especially the way the world is right now, where we're more separate from each other than ever. I mean, we have a habits of health community, podcasts, webinars. People can hop in and be inspired by how other people are getting healthy in their lives and inspiring other people to do the same. And I signed up a new client last week of everything I spoke about, because he's done every diet in the book. He said, I want that. I need that community. I work from home. I don't get out much.
Mm,
Like he said, I'm lonely, and I eat too much.
yeah.
So he want to be a part of the community, and
Wow.
that's amazing. And then the nutritional component is very simple. Your body is a machine. It just is. The body is a machine. And if you give your body the right fuel, it is going to take care of itself. It's going to do the right thing. And look, food is comprised of three things: proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. That's food. Your body was designed to eat food. It needs all of those things. It just
Right.
needs them in the right balance, needs them in the right proportions. So out of the gate, the first thing we do is we teach you how to create with your own hands using fresh ingredients, how to create a balanced plate of nutritious food. You got your vegetables, you got your protein choices. You can do it if you're a vegetarian, just what are those ratios? What's that supposed to look like? So creating a nice sized plate of yummy food, because you can
Mhm.
season it,
Yeah, yeah.
you can have salt.
Right, right,
you can have hot sauce, you can have soy
right.
sauce, just everything, and you learn how to do it in
Yeah, yeah.
balance in the right proportions. And you mentioned bars, you mentioned shakes. Look, we want results. If I asked you to eat 5 or 6 or 7 times a day, preparing everything in the right balance, you'd be like, well, that sounds great, but I don't,
Yeah, I'm never good.
who's
Yeah,
got the time to learn all that? So in the beginning, for most of our folks, you focus on one meal a day. We provide you the other uh,
5.
meal replacements. We call
Right,
them fuelings to
right.
reorient you that food is fuel. And they come in a wide variety so you don't get bored, and they're convenient. You got bars and shakes, of course, but you got soups and stews and cereals and brownies and cookies. Chocolate pudding. I
The
freaking love the
bean
chocolate pudding.
chili, the bean
The
chili.
chili. John loves the bean chili.
I loved it.
Chicken soup, but they're all scientifically designed. But John said it. They taste really good. They're
Right.
designed to have the right proportions of the proteins, carbohydrates, and fats, uh, and they're all clean labels. So there's no artificial colors, no artificial dyes, no artificial preservatives. So every time you're eating, you're creating health from the inside out. You're giving your body the right fuel that's clean. Your body gets into a gentle yet consistent state of fat burn using all the components of food. There's even sugar involved. Let's chocolate pudding. Like I said, like you can have some sugar. Sugar's not the devil that people make it out to be. It is when you're eating, 3 donuts,
Right,
and nothing else.
right.
Then it's really bad. But so, anyways,
Yeah.
the point is you learn portion control. You eat, go about your business, drink your water, lose weight, worry about one meal a day. As you get closer to your goal, we start to transition less of the fuelings, more, reincorporating whole foods
Mhm.
into your diet. So you get to a place where you're eating your own food, and you've learned portion control, you've learned timing, you've learned balance, you've learned that things can taste good. Your body can handle the occasional indulgence because your metabolism is on fire, and you can live and not worry about it anymore.
Right.
And if you do it right, you can do that transition, never eat another one of our meal replacements again, and not gain weight back.
Right. Because you're educated.
Yes, because you're
That
exactly.
that to me is what the biggest thing that I got from it is I'm educated on it. So I have a scale, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, people are like, "Oh, you gotta weigh your food." Yeah, yeah, yeah. I weigh my food. Sorry,
Yeah.
but I know that this is what I need. My
Right.
body needs this amount, this amount.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to actually eat that amount. I know that I need two cups of broccoli or
Yeah.
whatever it is. Yeah, spinach I would eat, and I put it all together. I make great meals. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's not it wasn't grueling, like people would think. And I think your body also starts telling you, and I remember you and I having a conversation about this when I started getting hungry after a fueling. So it was like, okay, you might need more food. You might be getting to a place where you can start incorporating new, food. So I was doing the 5 and 1. So I went to 4 and 2, and that handled it.
Yeah.
That handled it. And I was like, oh, okay, now I'm not hungry anymore, and eating every 2.5 to 3 hours also was like a really revelation for me. And I just set it up on my phone, And I think that's another thing that you helped me with a lot, was just organizing it, because that, I think, is what people have trouble with. Like, I just why don't you use your phone? And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
So I just set it up, and it rings at 8 o'clock in the morning. It rings at 11. It rings at 2. It rings at 5. It rings at 8, and it rings at 11. You know what I mean? These are that's when I eat. And sometimes I might eat like 15 minutes before, 15 minutes after, whatever. It's enough time where I don't have to be freaking out. And it just works. I mean, I don't know what else to say. And I'm not uh, I'm not one guy that just, I only say things that I really truly believe in, and I only back things up that I really believe in. And I believe that this is, to me, was like, really, really awesome, and it totally worked for me. So I wanted to show. I don't know how much time you have, but you have.
Yeah, go ahead. No, I've got. I have another thing, but I told them I'll be around 10:15. So
Okay, cool. So this is the most difficult thing for me to do right now, which I told you about, and you said if you're comfortable, you can do that, right? So it's the before and after photo that I took, which was really embarrassing, because I've never, ever, ever, ever been 5 to 7 pounds over where I should have been. You know what I mean? And this was like extreme for me. I was at a very, very bad situation. So anyway, this was a picture. This before, the after picture I took today. Like I said, I still have work to do, so it's not perfect.
it's about how you feel, John.
All right, so here we go, folks. Thank you very much. So that's me. I'm like, hey, how many months?
But midsection aside, what's super much more evident.
That's all we get.
If you took that your first picture and just cropped it to your face,
Yeah,
and then a
I
close
know.
up of your face now, the difference is staggering.
Yeah,
In the quality of your skin,
yeah.
in the brightness of your eyes, it's amazing. Look, I'm going to show you my initial transformation. This is a difference of 8 weeks.
Oh yeah, I should have asked you to send it.
That's okay. See where's my camera, if you can see this. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow.
So I lost 26 pounds in 6 weeks. I didn't do so much as a push-up. The last 2 weeks, I just started doing push-ups and sit-ups again.
Wow. I've seen
When
this. I
you
mean,
are
it's so dramatic.
exercising,
Yeah.
just, when the fat's gone, then exercise is fun. It's easy.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You see results.
Well,
But, exercising is definitely part of a healthy lifestyle, but exercising to lose weight,
right.
when you don't have your nutrition in check and you
Yeah.
don't know how that works, it
Don't
can be
even
very
bother.
self-defeating, because you
Right.
could, I ran, I've seen it. I used, before I knew anything, and I would go to the gym and I'd see these people like, oh my God, they're running, they're so overweight, and they're in the gym every day running on the treadmill. And then I'd see them get, on the scale and be like,
Yeah.
because barely anything happened.
Yeah. They're not
So
drinking water. They're
yeah, they
continuing.
just don't know. They think they're
Just want
probably
more.
not even, they're probably not eating enough, or they're
Right.
going the other way, they're eating too much. So
Right.
there's a whole science to all of that.
And the working out thing also psychologically for me, I did start before I got on the program. I did start working out, and I found myself like I couldn't even get myself motivated to want to do it. Like, it was like I did like a couple of push-ups. I can do like 50 push-ups pretty easily. I was like at 15 push-ups. I was like, holy crap. I mean, it was really, really scary. So anyway, this is me. I did a photo shoot, and I kept canceling the photo shoot and pushing it back because I was too embarrassed, because this shirt would have been popping out, had I had this thing going on. But that was the photo, one of the photos, and I'm very, very happy right now. And I feel also the empowerment that you get
Yeah.
is probably the best thing you can get. The losing weight is great, but the fact that I know that I'm never gonna be like that way again, because I have this knowledge in my head, that to me is the most gratifying thing. So
Well, I'm so happy to hear that, and we hear that all the time. That has actually been a theme this last week, with people saying, when my clients, we do our 2-week celebration call, and the last 3 people have said, I feel in control.
Yeah,
I feel in control
completely.
of my situation. And, and I've been struggling with this for years and I never have. So I'm going to share this one last thing with you. And then
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got to hop. So, I've been living a healthy lifestyle for the last year and a half. I've been doing great, but nobody's perfect. Life happens. And the end of the summer into September, to be quite frankly, I went off the rails.
Mm,
I started drinking too much. I was enjoying the last vestiges of the summer. I was drinking too much, which is a trigger for me. And I was making bad food choices and waking up and feeling like crap again. And then, quick fix, what makes you feel better? Grab something that's high calorie dense, high sugar. And before you knew it, I put a lot of, not a lot, I put weight back on. But I realized, I didn't really realize it until I really took stock of the fog I had been in. I was in a fog. I did
oh
not.
wow.
I was just like, I don't feel like me. I'm not thinking the same. I'm negative. Like
Mm,
I'm entertaining negative thoughts. I'm like, what? I'm like, I got to get control of this. So I'm just going to show you this one picture. So this was me. I found myself at this position again. This is not, this is about halfway back from where I originally, started my journey. So
right.
this was, I don't know if you can see that. So
Yeah, I could see it.
okay. So look, there's a gut there.
Yeah.
My face is fuller.
Yeah.
So in the last uh, 18 days, I've lost 14 of those. I've lost 14 pounds.
Wow.
Most of it was bloat, and there was not most of it. I would say about 8 pounds of it was bloat, and then the rest was fat. And now
All gone.
less than
Now
3 weeks later, I don't know if you can tell, but
oh yeah.
it's just not the same. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
everything is different. Like my
Yeah.
face, everything. My skin is better. I mean, I'm just gonna hold up. Just look, look again. This happened. This was in 18 days, from then to today. The change, because I have the tools and I know what to do.
Right.
I just threw them out for a while, but that's
Yeah.
okay. That's the really great thing. Once you're educated,
Right.
I knew how to correct myself,
Right.
and I leaned on the basics because I have them and I understand them. But in the past, I'd go up and down the same 20 pounds over and over and over and over again. I hadn't had
Mm,
to go back to basics to like in a year and a half, but it happened. So what? I don't
yeah.
care. So I
And not
used it as a
knowing.
learning experience.
Right, like those that go up and down on different diets and just not knowing, not having this knowledge is really that's really where it gets really sad
Yeah.
because at some point that body is not going to recover again. It's not going to lose those final 20 pounds. And then it gets to a point where then it becomes uncontrollable. And now you start getting into the actual ailments and the
Yeah.
diseases and stuff start
Exactly.
kicking in. So that's where,
Exactly.
yeah,
And the numbers, that come down, the cholesterol levels come down, the high blood pressure comes down. I won't go into it now, but
mhm,
if anybody is into this conversation, just look up the Cleveland Clinic's study
yeah.
on what happens with just a 10% reduction in body fat for so many different ailments and the relief that people get just from reducing body fat by 10%.
Wow.
It's staggering, the improvement in health,
It's
uh,
amazing.
in the statistics.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. So, anyways,
So,
John,
David, thank you
well
so
done.
much.
I'm so
Yeah.
happy to be here.
Oh man, this is awesome. I appreciate it. You and I, we both have young children.
Yeah.
That's also such a why for me, to
Mhm.
really want to be here so I can walk, him down, not walk him down, but walk my daughter down the aisle and do all the things that you think of that you want to do with your children, and share those moments with them and watch them grow up. So it's a very important thing. So I appreciate what you're doing. You're doing great work and really saving a lot of people. So thank you so much for being on. I know you'll be back again because we're going to be talking about this. This is a subject that we can dive into for a very long time, and maybe we'll even go into more of those studies that we talked about
Sure.
in the future and stuff. So thank you so much, David. I appreciate
Sure.
you, man.
Yeah, and if anybody's interested,
Yes.
of course, you can reach out to me through Facebook. But and also, I'll just tell you, one last thing. Like there's a crisis in America.
Yeah, yeah.
Obesity, childhood obesity, and then forget obesity. More than half of America is just plain old way overweight, and it's a problem. And one thing the world is in dire need of are health coaches. And I decided to pay this forward and become a health coach. And I have created an amazing life for my family, filled with time freedom and financial freedom, helping other people get healthy and helping those people help other people get healthy. So if you are looking for something to do part-time, or maybe you're looking for a career change that's fulfilling and meaningful, and can give you some purpose in life, you can reach out to me about that as well. Because we do apprenticeships. You don't have to have any prior experience or knowledge. We do paid apprenticeships. And the reason we do it is because we really are on a mission to help get America healthy. And, any one individual's reach is only so great. So I'm part of a larger network of coaches, and we all help each other. And, and so our reach is exponential. In terms of the amount of people that we can help. So I throw that in there. Maybe maybe who knows, maybe in a few weeks we can come back and I'll talk about it again, that aspect of it in a little bit more detail.
Absolutely, because it's definitely a worthy thing to do. And you can, when you have something that you can make a living, a good living, helping others, I can't imagine why, especially if it's worked for you, if you've gotten on the program and you see it, the results, why wouldn't you want somebody else to have that? Of course you would.
Yeah,
So,
it changed everything in my life. And, I can't pay that back. There's no way to pay it back,
right.
But I can pay it forward.
Right.
And that's what I'm doing.
Awesome. David, thank you so much, man. I'll talk to you soon. I appreciate you, and we'll definitely dive into this again in the future for sure.
Thanks, John.
You got it, man. Take
Bye-bye.
care. All right. That was Mr. David Guzzone. Someone says, I'm here. Thank you. Sorry. Sometimes Facebook doesn't give me the name of the person. It says I'm here, Facebook user. I apologize. Matt says meal prep really helps you, right? And that's something that I do, quite often. As a matter of fact, one of the things I do now, because I'm doing 2 of the meals, and the fuelings, I'm doing 4 fuelings, and I do 2 of my own meals. They're called lean green meals. Those 2 meals, I just make one big portion, and then I'll have for 2 servings. So I'll make some chicken, some nice salad, and veggies, and all that stuff. And it's really worked for me. And I'm always scared to talk about some of the things that I'm going to talk about now, because I know that it's a delicate issue. We're living in a country now where we have more diets, more programs for losing weight, more concern about obesity than any other country on the planet. And yet we still have this tremendous epidemic in the country. And I wanted to just read a couple of statistics. Let me get this up here, but that's interesting. Okay. Oh, here it is. Okay. So in 2018, we have 34.2 million Americans, or 10%, 10.5% of the population had diabetes. And one of the scary things is, me as a Hispanic man, 12%, 12.7% are Hispanics out of that. So the numbers are staggering as far as what happens. The total cost is it's about $350 billion that's spent yearly on diabetes and handling diabetes. I want to show that there's a documentary out called Blood Sugar Rising. It's on PBS. I'm going to share the link real quick. You can check it out. It's actually really good. This is the link right there. I'll leave it on for a minute. And in it basically talks about this epidemic that we have in this country right here. It's really just a very very frightening situation. I want to see if I can get to something that I had here a minute ago, but I'm gonna actually just show this one video first of all. This is actually the trailer for that documentary. I think you will all enjoy. Un momento por some more, por favor. And it's this one. All right, so not that one, but this one. All right. Let's hope my camera doesn't black out on me. All right, so this is a documentary for Blood Sugar Rising. This is the trailer.
In the United States, it is estimated that there's
You know what? I think I'm gonna do that one more time. This is live, folks. This is a live show. I don't. This isn't pre-recorded, but it's all good. All right, I gotta hit that so you can hear it a little bit clearer. And let's go back.
In the United States, it is estimated that there's about 100 million people with diabetes, 100 million people in the country affected by a blood sugar problem.
The economic impact of diabetes is devastating. We spent almost $350 billion on diabetes in the United States last year.
Diabetes, a chronic disease that's notoriously difficult to control. It can maim and even kill. A generation ago, less than 3% of Americans had diabetes. Today, it's almost 10%.
It is now predicted that half of the US population will have either diabetes or pre-diabetes by the year 2025. Half.
Living with diabetes today is a story of new discoveries about our food environments and choices.
As a 7-year-old coming from a third world country and getting free candy, I was like, yo, I'm so down for America right now. Like, this is tight.
She's funny.
It builds on exciting new progress in drugs and technologies that have made the disease more manageable.
This device is around the corner, and that's really what we're trying to do, is get much better therapy to people that requires much less of their participation and provides much better care.
And it reveals the terrible struggles that so many with diabetes still have, day in and day out.
So they was looking at me like, how are you even standing here on your feet? You're supposed to be in a coma.
So when we think about the impact to the system, way too many emergency room visits, way too many amputations. Why isn't there a war on diabetes?
All right. So there's my camera again, folks. Camera, at least I do know why this actually occurred. So it has to do something with me showing clips. Whenever I show clip, that's when it happens. So I'm going to contact StreamYard, which is the provider that I use for my show, and make sure that they help me work that out so that doesn't happen anymore. And there's a little button here that says having issues. Damn right, I'm having issues, mofo. So I'm going to contact them. And as of right now, this is sort of a podcast. So thank you all for joining my podcast. But a wonderful documentary there. Unfortunately, the documentary doesn't really go into some of the causes or the companies that are selling, the foods, purposely selling these really, really toxic foods, and being approved by the Food Trade Commission and the FDA, and with their drugs, and all this stuff is one big giant group, a team of people that are involved and can easily handle this epidemic. But there's way too much money, not only way too much money in the products that they sell, but the diabetes is a billion. I mean, you saw $350 billion. So how much of that is paying for a lot of research and doctors and hospitals and medicines? There's a lot of money involved that people are making from this illness, and that's something that I'm going to talk about in the next Healthy Mind, Healthy Body, Healthy Attitude show. I'm going to go into more into that part of it, and I'll have more video, more statistics. I apologize for the camera situation, but I'll get that fixed. All right, folks. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. I appreciate you all so much. I do recommend, if anyone has any questions about this program that I did, you can just send me an email. You can always email me at at johnhenrysoto@gmail.com. I mean, go to my website. I'm sorry, where is it? That's my website. Don't go to my website. You can go to my website and visit. It's nice stuff there. Go to johnhenrysoto@gmail.com and just send me any questions you have. No matter what they are, I'm willing to answer them and try to help anyone that has any kind of physical situation, or if you're just interested. I mean, I'm not a doctor, so let me just say that right now. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not giving you any doctor advice or any kind of medical advice. But so this program, you obviously, any program that you're on, you have to check with your doctor to make sure that you're capable of handling a program, because some people are very sick, and if they stop doing certain things, they might actually get sicker, believe it or not. But you have to start somewhere. So if this is something that you feel can help you and you have some questions, please just send me an email there, and I would be more than happy to answer any questions, and then I will direct you to David Guzzone, and he'll be able to help you from there, and all the other questions you have, he can handle, of course. So, all right, folks, thank you very much. God bless you all. I will see you all on Monday night. Monday, folks. It is Bitcoin. We're going to talk about this whole craziness about Bitcoin. You're going to learn all about Bitcoin, everything to do about Bitcoin. You're going to learn on Monday night. I'm going to have Asada Kirkland is going to be on the show. She is wrote a book called Bitcoin for Black People. Don't worry, she's Black. But it's not just for Black people. It's obviously has a mission to get more information and more education to the African American community, which is an awesome thing. But in her group itself, there's all kinds, and she is a Bitcoin queen. She knows a lot about Bitcoin, and I'm involved, and I'm making money, and it's very exciting what's happening right now. So that's going to be on Monday night, 9:30. Hope you can tune in, and yeah, that's it, folks. Thank you very much for tuning in. And as always, can't see me, but I got my two fingers up. Peace.